This is Janelle Penny, Editor-in-Chief of Buildings Media, and I'm here with Bryon Kauffman, who's the Vice President of Sales and Operations for Ethosource, LLC. And we're here at IFMA's World Workplace Conference talking about open office design. Bryon, thank you so much for joining me.
Sure, glad to be with you.
So, what are some of the bigger complaints or even misconceptions that you find that people have about open office design?
Well, the first and foremost, the largest complaint, bar none, is lack of personal privacy. People struggle in an open office environment, especially if there's not a place to go where they can have a private conversation, a private meeting, if they feel trapped. In a business that doesn't provide those things, the people literally have to walk out to a parking lot or to a lobby of the building or go to their car in order to have that occasional conversation where they have to make a doctor's appointment for their kid or something like that. So yeah, undoubtedly lack of personal privacy and no accommodation made for it is the number one complaint.
Sure. And I'm looking at your rendering and I see that there are some nooks and some different kind of enclosed spaces like that, even though it's in the middle of a larger open
Absolutely.
space. What are some of the things you can do to kind of mitigate some of those complaints?
Sure. So even in an open benching environment, which means everybody's sitting right next to each other, across from each other, even in close proximity, if you create areas that at least create some sort of boundary, and it's great if they can include some acoustic properties. So if you look at the screen in this floor plan, you can see out in the middle here, it's primarily just wide open with a few little screens, but very close by, there are these privacy huddle areas where you can go and sound is blocked a little bit, but certainly you even have visual privacy where you can focus and have a meeting and have a discussion without the rest of the office, focusing in on what you're talking about and things like that.
Sure.
There's also things like huddle rooms, which may be private rooms. Like up here, these are private offices, but one of them might be a dedicated meeting space where you could go and have a place to talk. Even singular seating areas, like all the way over here in this corner, if you can see it.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a
Kind of
single
booth.
person chair, which has sides and a top, which provide acoustic sound masking that you could probably have a quiet conversation with your wife or husband or significant other and not have it overheard by the whole office.
Sure.
So things like that help a lot.
Great. Do you find that people are requesting certain design features or certain types of furniture more than others?
When it comes to an open office?
Yeah.
Well, in the open office, the occupants want, again, some degree of privacy, whether that be utilizing screens. Also, height adjustability is very big in an open office environment. People want to be able to sit and stand, and while they don't have much work area, they want what little work area they do have to be as adjustable as possible. So.
Great. And are there any important takeaways that you think facilities managers should remember if they're looking at either upgrading an open office space that they have or maybe moving to a more open design from a more relatively closed one?
Yes, absolutely. Kind of like what we started with. Make accommodation where people can go and have some degree of privacy. If it's open office, wall to wall, you'll have disgruntled employees.
Sure.
They'll feel trapped. They feel like they can't go anywhere to escape even for a moment. That can be even an inviting cafe area where they can get out of the main work area to a less densely populated area and have a conversation. Also accounting for acoustics. Noise is a problem in an open office. That would be number 2. Lack of privacy. Noise would be second. So accommodate for acoustics. So wall panels, ceiling mounted acoustic baffles, even white noise, sound masking, all of that helps. Because concentration and focus would be something that people complain about if it's not there in an open office environment. So.
Absolutely. Bryon, thank you so much for joining me. This has been really interesting.
Sure, glad I could help.